This is Shane Vaughn. Apparently, he's a Trump theologist, and I guess he had AI write a song for him, as far as I can tell. Let's listen.
Just a pastor, not just a man. He's a lion with a Bible and a constitutional plan. With a voice like thunder and a heart full of grace, he's calling out the lies.
This is terrible.
Right to their face. He's got a pope's name, but a prophet's fire. He's pulling back curtains, lifting folks higher from rumble to the pews. He won't back down. There's a holy kind of boldness in the small town crown.
This is a song about Shane Vaughn, right? I was thinking, is this about Donald Trump? No, this is definitely about him. This is bad.
Back curtains, lifting folks higher from rumble to the pews. He won't back down. There's a holy kind of boldness in the small town crown. He's Professor Toto, truth on the go. With a wink and a word, he's stealing the show. Like that little dog in the land of Oz, he's shouting out truth and he's giving God the applause. He's exposing the smoke, breaking the spell.
This is definitely AI, right? This is a bop, says Biggest Dan. Right, this is definitely a bop.
Ringing that Liberty Bell, so shout it from the steeple, shout it to the town. Professor Toto's gonna turn it all around. Oh, he's got a red, white, and blue burning deep in his bones, preaching kingdom and country from his humble home. He don't need a spotlight.
Honestly, I was planning on watching this episode, but I'm okay with just sitting here listening to the song for another minute or two. It's ironic that this dude, this singer or whatever, is saying that he's like got red, white, and blue in his veins and all this other stuff, and he's so pro-America and anti-immigrant when he's very obviously not like Caucasian/European, right? He's got some kind of Central or South American like heritage in him based on his skin tone alone. Like, I don't understand how people like that can vote for Donald Trump or support him. And this guy doesn't just support him, he's one of the foremost Trump theologists.
Don't need a stage, just YouTube Live and a righteous rage. With a Bible in hand and a founder's dream, he's waking up the church, raising up a team. He ain't fooled by glitter, he ain't sold on the spin. He's calling out wolves in sheepish skin.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, dude. Something I didn't even notice. Look at the image. I was thinking, is the song AI? Look at the picture. We be people. We be people is the top one, and then we the people is the bottom one. And then we've got holy blah, or I'm sorry, no, not holy. Just got ho blah. Oh my God, dude, this guy's shameless. If you're gonna do an AI image, can you at the very least make the words make sense? This is awful.
He's Professor Toto, truth on the go. With a wink and a word, he's stealing the show. Like that little dog in the land of Oz, he's shouting out truth and he's giving God the applause. He's exposing the smoke, breaking the spell, ringing that Liberty Bell. So shout it from the steeple, shout it to the town. Professor Toto's gonna turn it all around. Now the world.
Professor Toto's gonna turn it all around. Holy shit, dude. How long is this song? This thing's gotta be like 10 minutes, right?
They mock and the news may spin, but Toto don't flinch. He knows who wins. With a kingdom compass and a patriot soul, he's marching in truth till the trumpet rolls. Oh, Professor Toto, keep walking bold. The word in your heart and the fire in your soul. You're lifting the veil, calling truth by name, shining heaven's light on the devil's game. You're exposing the smoke, breaking the spell, ringing that Liberty Bell. We're shouting hallelujah as the lies fall down. Professor Toto's turning it around.
You know, I gotta be honest, the song itself is really, really I say this unironically. It is actually a bop. AI has gotten so good at creating music and stuff, right? I mean, the image is piss poor, but I haven't heard like a serious mess up in the song yet. And it definitely sounds like the kind of thing that somebody in the country genre would make, right?
Yeah, Professor Toto. Keep pulling that curtain down.
There's a simple formula for this type of modern country. Really easy to crank out a tune. That's true. You're right. Yeah, they have a certain number of like chords that they commonly use and stuff like that. Fair enough. This is him live. Let's just see what he has to say here. Wow, I love to be disturbed right out the gate and listen to an obnoxious fucking asshole ring bells randomly. That's great. Thank you for that. Oh, keep going. Yes. I love having it just ringing in my ears so loud that it's like my head is ringing almost. Like my head is the bells. That's so great. That's my favorite thing. Thank you so much, Shane Vaughn.
Wake up, America!
Oh my God, brother, please.
Hello, MAGA!
All right, I'm jumping forward. I can't do it. No more bells. Put those fucking things away.
Legitimate, Professor Toto, just like that little dog on The Wizard of Oz,
Yep, we all heard the song.
that curtain back on a Tuesday night, September the 23rd. And I missed the rapture.
Oh, he's talking about the rapture. That's so funny. Okay.
Whatever will I do now? And you missed it too. Wow, wow, wow. Well, we'll try again next year. I'm sure there'll be some fresh, false prophecies that'll come out again next year. But I do have great news for you. 1 year, it really is going to happen.
Wow. He's making fun of rapture claims and then claiming that it's definitely going to happen in a year, then making one himself. That's genius. Okay. You got my attention. Go on.
And it will happen on Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets.
Yeah, Yom Kippur time frame, roughly, is what he's saying.
Yeshua himself said it would happen on that day.
No, he did not.
Do you know that just moments ago in Jerusalem, they finally saw a sliver of a moon? It was just announced today. And now they can start celebrating Yom Teruah, what they falsely call Rosh Hashanah.
Okay.
Rosh Hashanah is just as unbiblical as Christmas, but that's what they call it. Now, the reason I'm mentioning the moon is because this is the only holiday on the Jewish calendar that they cannot pinpoint the date. It's actually a date.
This is just complete nonsense. They cannot pinpoint certain dates on all kinds of different things. I'm not even sure if they can pinpoint the date on this. I don't know. Maybe. The guy's a Trump theologist, okay? Distrust every word out of his mouth.
That nobody knows when it's going to come. They don't know the day nor the hour. So therefore, when Yeshua, Jesus, was telling the people, they said, when are you going?
Oh, please, dude. Okay, so you're saying, this is his argument. Rosh Hashanah is a day on the Jewish calendar that we cannot exactly pinpoint because it's based on the lunar calendar or whatever, and we don't know exactly for sure when it was supposed to be. And that's what the Bible meant when it said no one will know the day or the hour, but it's definitely going to be on Rosh Hashanah. Come on, brother. Really? This guy will come up with any excuse to falsely prophesy things, won't he? Like, really? Have you not learned from the past 200 years all of the false prophets? Did you not learn from them?
Going to return. He told those Jewish people, I'll return at the appointed time on the day when no one knows the day nor the hour. So even though we pick and humor a little bit about us missing the rapture today, Well, the truth is, it won't be a rapture, but it will be the second coming of the Lord, and it will happen.
Yeah, well, Shane Vaughn believes that that's Donald Trump, actually. It's a whole complicated thing. Basically, the Son of Man is a title given in the Old Testament, not the New Testament. And it's supposed to be this figure that comes along and acts as a cosmic judge to set things right and to make things fair and send people to heaven or whatever. I mean, this is Old Testament, so the beliefs were very different. Anyway, that's what the Son of Man was supposed to be in the Old Testament. And Jesus never claimed to be the Son of Man or the Son of God, but it was heavily implied by later on by his apostles or whatever. And it finally became solidified as canon doctrine by the Christian church hundreds of years later. So Shane Vaughn sees this Son of Man dispute going on, this Son of Man thing, and he says, what if Jesus was the Son of God, which there is no distinction in the Bible. It's just complete nonsense. And Trump or somebody else is going to come along later to be the Son of Man. And Trump is going to be the Son of Man in Shane Vaughn's mind. He's going to fulfill that role that Jesus had to return to complete. Because, of course, Jesus didn't spark this, the cosmic judgment into effect or whatever when he was on earth. So like, what happened? Where is he? And they say he'll come back. He will come back to fulfill his role as Son of Man. So anyway, Shane Vaughn says Donald Trump is the Son of Man, the ancient Old Testament prophet who was going to spark Armageddon and judgment and all that other junk. So what he's saying here about the Son of Man coming in the next year or whatever, I mean, he believes that the Son of Man is here, according to his past statements on this subject. I don't know if he's changed his mind or what, but as a Trump theologist, that's the theology.
1 year, very, very soon, on Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets.
Or Rosh Hashanah.
Most people don't know that the rapture doctrine is only 100 and some odd years old.
Okay, I don't think it's 100 and something years old, but it's not very old, at the very least. That's for sure. It's not very old. And it was nonsense all the way back then when it started. It was supposed to be about people coming up out of their graves to, meet Jesus halfway when he returns. But I guess there's no need for that anymore, right? Because Jesus isn't returning. It's going to be the Son of Man, a.k.a. Donald Trump.
It started in 1830 by Margaret MacDonald, a woman that had a vision of the church leaving the earth and bypassing tribulation. Well, her little vision was then picked up by Darby and the Plymouth Brethren, and then they passed it on to Schofield. Schofield wrote a Bible and promulgated that doctrine. That great evangelist Dwight Moody.
The distinct doctrine of a pre-tribulation rapture only emerged in 1830. However, early Christians believed the imminent return of Jesus and resurrection of the dead, but they did not separate this into two events, rapture first, second coming later. Writers like Paul in 1 Thessalonians describe believers being caught up to meet Christ, but this was understood as part of final judgment and second coming, not a secret escape beforehand. Right. Middle Ages through Reformation, through over 1,700 years of church history, Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant traditions taught a single return of Christ with judgment and resurrection together. No theologians in this period preached a pre-tribulation rapture. It's all supposed to happen at the same time, basically, is the whole bit. So he's correct in saying that our modern interpretation of the rapture is totally different than it was back then, starting in 1830. But the rapture as a concept has existed for a long time.
Picked up on it and preached it everywhere until everyone believed it. And so now you know the best of the story. But here we are. We did not go up today, but one day soon, all joking aside, we will meet.
I bet he was one of the believers, one of the rapturists, the people who thought that September 23rd was going to happen for sure. And when it didn't, he decided, he was like, I'm not going to say anything. We'll see if it happens. And if it does, I'm going to gloat while I dance in heaven. While I mushroom stamp people in heaven. And it didn't happen, so now he gets to gloat that it didn't.
The Lord when he returns in the air, and then settle back down with him to the beautiful Mount of Olives to prepare to set up the kingdom of God here on earth.
Interesting. He thinks there's going to be a kingdom of God on earth. Okay.
As a matter of fact, in less than 1 week, my friends, there are some of us that will be gathering on the beautiful mountains of Lake Guntersville, Alabama.
Oh my God, he's doing this. Okay, we're skipping forward. I couldn't possibly care less, but he is using AI a lot. Interesting.
I saw it coming about a year ago, and I mentioned his name, but Rubio 28, maybe that man can talk. He's a speaker, and definitely is. All right.
That's interesting. He's bailing on Donald Trump, and he's trying to name a successor. Fascinating. He knows Trump is old and that it's not going to last forever. So he's trying to find some way to handle what happens when Trump dies. Very interesting. Okay.
Tonight is jam-packed. The monologue, you don't want to miss it, okay? The monologue. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, you have a monologue. Interesting.
Miss it. Boy, oh boy, you don't want to miss it. But we got a lot of news to cover before we get there. So let's bring out we are coming to you live tonight behind the glowing microphone of magnanimity on the Freedom Frequency, live from Toto Town. And
Why would you do these things? I don't understand. Crinkling paper in people's ears? Do you think that's enjoyable? Do you think we like that? Please don't do that anymore, sir. I would appreciate that.
all of the news has now landed in my lap. I'm going to break it all down for you, my favorite people, citizens of Toto Town. Before we proceed, I need to deal with something, all right? And by the way, a huge giveaway tonight.
It's a Charlie Kirk coin.
You don't want to miss it. Probably right before my monologue, I'm going to do a big giveaway, something very special tonight. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be huge. Let's go and take a look at something that I'm seeing this.
Please just get to it, man. Really. You keep telling us about all these things. Just get to it.
Go around, and I need to put an end to it. Tonight, Professor Toto is swinging. I'm coming to kill some conspiracies. I'm coming to get your white cap on right. And
white cap? You mean like the KKK cap? Is that what you're talking about?
It's going to be a big, big night. All right, let's start here. Let's look at this, and I want to help you understand it. Before we proceed, let me get a mic check. Are we too loud?
Dude, really? You were too loud when you were ringing fucking bells in my ears. You were too loud when you were crinkling paper in my ears. Just get to the fucking segment.
Loud, too low? Let me get a good looking check. Are we looking good or looking bad before we proceed tonight? And please, folks, if you...
All right, I'm jumping forward more. Come on.
Susan Salvatore. Good evening. All right.
Bro, I jumped forward like 2 minutes just now, and he's still talking shit about people in the audience. Come on. All right, I think this is it.
So this is going, a lot of my followers have sent this to me and asked me to address this. So I'm going to, because I love my followers. You're the reason I come here every Tuesday night.
Okay.
And also I break in when news breaks out on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, you're missing up-to-date.
Dude, can this guy do literally nothing but advertise for himself? By the way, check out my Patreon. No, just kidding.
News all day, every day. Shane Vaughn 38. It's in the description box if you're not following me on Facebook or my Substack. That's where I communicate. Facebook.
Oh my God. I thought I found where it started, but apparently not. Let's jump forward even more.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
And who's going to be speaking at these events? Number one, Michael Knowles, a Christian man. But he said, am I allowed as a Christian pastor to point out the tour features about the upcoming Turning Point USA schedule?
Why wouldn't you be allowed to do that? I don't understand. Why are you even asking that question? Of course you can.
And who's going to be speaking at these events? Number one, Michael Knowles, a practicing Catholic. Glenn Beck, a practicing Mormon.
Like, seriously, this is so frustrating. These people are framing themselves as victims by saying, am I allowed to do this? And framing it carefully, like they're trying to hide, their true intent or something. Like, who gives a if you, point out tour dates or whatever? Nobody gives a Nobody ever gave a Perpetual victims over here.
Vivek Ramaswamy, a practicing Hindu.
He does not like Vivek, or Vivek is his name, actually. I mean, Shane Vaughn doesn't.
And I want to thank one of my listeners, one of my viewers, Dwayne Beck, sent this to me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address this. And those of us who give our lives to proclaim the purity of the gospel, of justification by faith alone in Christ.
Wait, you've given your life? What have you given up exactly? By my estimation, you've taken. You're filthy fucking rich. You have a big platform, well known. People listen to what you have to say. You have influence. What did you give up, Shane? Exactly, specifically. What things did you give up?
Based on the scripture, are about to again become inconvenient irritants in popular culture in broad swaths of the church itself. But that's the way it goes. This is not about Charlie Kirk. If you claim a biblical Christian witness, you cannot platform false religion.
That's interesting. So this guy is saying, wait, I'm just looking. So I think the guy's saying by pointing out the tour dates for these people or whatever, you are platforming or pointing out false religious groups. But they're not going there as religious leaders. They're going there as political leaders. So, ideologically, I don't think I really see a problem with this.
Don Green is very sincere, and I appreciate his desire to protect the purity of the gospel. But I would like to not set him straight, but just set him straight.
Okay.
Turning Point USA is a political organization.
Right. So really, you don't have any place as a Christian to be pointing this stuff out, honestly. You can. No one is stopping you, but you shouldn't, because it's political, not Jesus, right? It's not religious, it's political. And authoritarian regimes always meld church and state inextricably, which is what we've seen over the past however long. We've seen that exact thing play out. So I'm disturbed by the fact that you are merging church and state so completely inextricably, but there's nothing legally wrong with it. Never was.
Not religious, okay? So they're not there to present the gospel. Now, Charlie Kirk would do that some, but they were there to win political debate.
I mean, Michael Knowles does it constantly, and Vivek Ramaswamy, he doesn't talk about it at all. And who was the other person? A Mormon? Yeah, they don't really talk about it either.
That's what the campus tours are about. So the people that's going to be debating politics are well able to do it, their religion aside. So please stop letting every little thing that comes through Facebook work you up, because brothers and sisters, Turning Point USA is a political organization.
It's funny that he understands the difference when it's relevant, but otherwise he doesn't.
Not religious. So anyway, just thought I need to clear that up, because a lot of people sending that to me. And all right, something else I need to clear up tonight. Are you ready? As I was watching the memorial, and no, I was not able to go.
The memorial was basically, there were literally parts of the memorial that were that plagiarized Joseph Goebbels, literally plagiarized Nazi propagandists. So that should tell you how it went.
I wanted to so badly. But as I was watching it, It was beautiful. It was
Knock me over with a feather. For some reason, I'm not surprised that that's how you view it.
wonderful. It was legendary, something we'll not soon forget, hopefully. And Erica Kirk was top-notch class all the way, especially the line about her forgiving.
That was classy. I got to give it to her. That was really nice that she said that she forgave the attacker. I wonder if she would feel the same if it had been like a trans person or, otherwise an Antifa person or whatever. Probably not, right? But saying such a thing at all after your husband was just murdered by this person, that is a class act. That is taking Jesus seriously. And I'm disgusted, honestly, that the Republican Party is like using this as a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, as a fundraising opportunity. It's really, truly, honestly, deeply disgusting. And if I were Erica Kirk, I would be infuriated by how people manipulated his death for their own ends like that. That would really upset me a lot. And it would upset me even more for me to say, I forgive him, and then for Donald Trump to go up there and directly contradict me and say, I don't forgive him. Like, by forgiving him, she was very obviously trying to do something there, right? She was trying to make a point about how important it is to forgive and move on, and how hating isn't going to get us where we want to be and stuff like that, right? And to be like directly contradicted like that immediately after is just, I would be infuriated. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I would never speak to Trump again if I were her. But I don't know. That's just me.
Her husband's murderer. And what she did is, it's what Christians do.
Well, why didn't Donald Trump do it then? Donald Trump specifically, explicitly said, I do not forgive him. So Erica Kirk gets a standing ovation for saying that shit. Well deserved. And then Donald Trump gets up there and says, I don't forgive him. I hate my enemies. And he gets a standing ovation as well. These people will clap for anything. Literally anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
We forgive. If not, then you are a Christian in name only.
Huh. Funny thing to say about Donald Trump. Go on.
You really can't say you're a practicing Christian. You identify as one, but without forgiveness, you're not one.
That's interesting. He says, you can identify as a Christian, but you're not a practicing Christian. I'm going to have to think about that. I mean, I guess it depends on what your definition of Christian is, right? Following the teachings of Christ? I don't know.
It's like a sheep that doesn't grow wool. Well, he may call himself a sheep.
You mean a sheeple?
But a sheep produces wool. Christian.
That's not true. I mean, there are genetic abnormalities and stuff, so what an awful analogy. Like, what? Okay, whatever. Go on.
Christians produce forgiveness. So that is exactly what Erica did. She showed the wool of a sheep. Now, right after her speech, which to me, they should have ended the funeral at that point.
I agree completely. That's fascinating because Donald Trump gets up there and gives a speech after her. Is he turning on Trump right now?
It was a perfect climactic moment. But
yeah, so Dr. Hayes says, a hairless sheep is still a sheep. Yeah, that's a bad analogy. I mean, I get the point he's making, but why? He sat down and thought this through, right? He came up with this analogy before laying it down, didn't he? Why? Why did you pick that thing of all things?
Anyway, be that as it may, President Trump got up and said some words that were disturbing.
I am actually surprised.
As a pastor, and I know they were disturbing to some of you. And I want to address that elephant in the room tonight. Because at the end of the day, I have never, ever, ever one time promoted the Christianity of Donald Trump.
Yes, you have. I have tons of examples. You absolutely have.
I've always understood that Donald Trump is a king or a president or a leader that Yahweh chose not because of his Christianity, but because of the backbone?
Oh, he means he's never promoted the idea that Donald Trump is a Christian. I see. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Of course you have. But I thought he meant Trumpism. He's never promoted Trumpism. He definitely does that. The idea, like Trump theology, that Trump is like uniquely special in this moment, that he's like chosen by God to fulfill blah, 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 whatever. Okay, interesting. Go on. I've got a ton of clips that we'll hit in a second just to prove him wrong.
And the finances that would be needed to do the work of Yahweh here in America. I've never deceived myself. I've never believed Donald Trump is a practicing Christian. Now, I believe he loves the Christian faith. I believe he loves the Christian church and is doing everything he can to help the Christian church. But if I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be fair, if I'm not going to be in a cult and I'm going to be observant, then I must tell you that the words he said about hating his enemies and not forgiving them is not Christian.
This is actually really surprising. I'm going to write this down because this is in complete contradiction of everything else that he's said up to this point. Check this one out. This is Shane Vaughn telling us that he's in a cult openly. I don't know why he's denying it now.
We would never be this defensive of Donald Trump if you would not have forced us into this cult mentality. Yeah, we would now fight for Donald Trump. Why? We believe in justice.
Justice, right. Totally. Absolutely. Justice.
And when we see a man that God's put his hand on being attacked night and day, you are forcing us to look like a cult. We're patient and steadfast in our support of a single man. We are cult followers. Yes, we follow a man. Yes, we do. We drank the Kool-Aid and it's orange.
So you know what this reminds me of, this clip? It reminds me of this comic right here, which I posted to my community tab, my Fireside Chat channel. My God, these Trump people are racist. That attitude is what's pushing me to be racist, says a MAGA person who just jumped in frame. Say what? Might as well. You say I'm a Nazi, so fine, I'll be a Nazi if that makes you happy. It doesn't. I bought this Waffen SS uniform for Halloween. You'll cry offensive, so maybe I'll just wear it every day. I just hate to do this. I feel bullied, really, he says as he gets a swastika tattoo and shaves his head. This is what's happening, right? Like, nobody wants you to be a Nazi. Stop it. It's like Shane Vaughn is literally right now using this as an excuse to claim that using this as an excuse to justify being in a cult. Says, you pushed me into it. Bro, I didn't push you into anything. What the fuck are you smoking? I don't want you to be in a fucking cult.
Why? We believe in justice. And when we see a man that God's put his hand on being attacked night and day, you are forcing us.
I'm not forcing you to do jack shit. You don't have to be a Nazi if you don't want to be a fucking Nazi. Like what? Anyway, I find it so funny that he's now completely backed off his position. I just showed you one clip. I have a ton of clips of him explaining Trump theology. He's the last person who has any place to say this stuff. I mean, here's an example of Shane Vaughn working Trump's attacks on Obama into his theology.
If you count from the flood date forward, their judgment was to end after 70 generations, when they would be released back on the earth to once again deprave mankind and turn them into mere beasts again. Well, when you do the calculations, the year of their release was the year 2008.
So he thinks the Nephilim have returned in 2008, signaled by Obama's win or whatever, all because Donald Trump said Obama is the Antichrist or whatever the fuck it was he said. I don't even remember now. He's working him into his theology. There's a lot more to that clip, but I think I've made my point. Here's another one.
Jewish people are not the same as Israelites. Make a long story short, thousands of years ago, 12 tribes of Israel, 10 of those tribes separated from the two tribes. Those two tribes are known as the Jewish people. The other 10 tribes known as Israel. Israel doesn't live in Israel. Jews lived in Israel. Israel was scattered all over the world, primarily the United States of America.
This is all neo-Nazi ideology as well. It's kind of folded into it. The idea that they're fake Jews living in Israel right now and all of that.
Great Britain and the Commonwealth nations. So who was it that lived at the Gaza Strip? Israel, not Jews. Israel. Now, who is the leader of Israel? Donald Trump.
Because Donald Trump traveled, or is the descendants of the people who traveled over the Caucasus Mountains after Israel was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar, and that makes him a real Jew. And that means that he's capable of being the Son of Man. He's a Trump theologist, is the point here.
Jew.
All right, now, let's continue listening to Shane Vaughn here.
I'm going to be in a cult and I'm going to be observant, then I must tell you that the words he said about hating his enemies and not forgiving them is not Christian. It's just not.
I'm actually surprised.
But I'm okay with that because I did not elect a pastor. I elected a world leader, a swamp drainer.
But he filled the swamp. What are you talking about? Just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Patreon. If you're not going to donate, you don't have to, but follow me there at the very least. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. Just in case something happens with the government or whatever. It would be really good if you had some way to connect with me and my content. I'm really concerned about that. And maybe you should consider that for other creators too.
Now, people like me and Charlie Kirk and others could never drain the swamp. We would be too busy forgiving our enemies.
Oh, please.
And therefore, Yahweh had to reach over and find a man that may not necessarily be a practicing Christian.
The mental gymnastics, bro.
But he is a man that is brash and gets the job done. But here's what I did see from Donald Trump in that moment. I saw rapid, raw honesty. I mean, on public, full display. And that is the one thing that America has been starving for in our politicians. And that's the reason we love Donald Trump. We love him because he literally got up there and did not hide behind a fake Sunday school smile.
You don't want him to promote Christianity and Christian ideals? What are you talking about? Didn't these people talk nonstop? Or haven't they been? Aren't they still? Maybe not him specifically. Talk nonstop about how it's so great to have a Christian in the presidency or whatever?
The man literally looks in the camera and says, I don't measure up. I'm not a saint.
I mean, yeah, obviously he would say that, but you would want him to say, I'm trying.
And I'm probably not a good Christian. He admits, he confessed publicly that he knows it's wrong. He said it's probably wrong to feel this way, struggling with his Christianity, because he knows he's still hurting from all the betrayals, the years of investigations, the witch hunts.
They weren't witch hunts. He was literally convicted by a jury of his peers, okay? He broke the law and continues to break the law. He's completely erasing people's First Amendment rights, among others, due process rights and others, right against unreasonable search and seizure, so on. I mean, I could go on forever. But that Erica Kirk thing is really fascinating when you think about it, because it drew such a clear, unambiguous distinction between the Christian viewpoint, the Christian way of doing things, and what Donald Trump does.
The years of pain that they've dumped on him, and yet he did not polish it up with sugar and syrup. He said to the world, I'm not Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk.
I knew you weren't literally those two people, but you should try to emulate the good qualities about those around you, right? Shouldn't you? Am I the idiot here?
I'm not ready to forgive. I'm not ready to move on. I'm ready for war. He told the world, yes, I believe in Christ, but that doesn't make me a Christian. Someone.
No, you are a Christian if you identify as a Christian. It's a self-ascribed label. Something you tell people that you are. Has nothing to do with what other people think about you or your behavior or whatever. If you say you're a Christian, then you are a Christian. That's just how it works.
The life of Christ is flowing through them. Now, this is why Donald Trump is Donald Trump. That's why he's the one standing in the gap, and not Charlie Kirk or Ted Cruz or all the commentators who can tell you how to turn the other cheek. Yahweh had to find a man that would not turn the other cheek.
A Christian? You trying to tell me you want unchristian things to happen to these people? You trying to tell me that you are a Christian, but you want to find a loophole around this? Is that what you're saying? That doesn't sound very Christian of you. Really, like, Jesus had a specific set of ideas about how the world should operate, and you are throwing that out and saying, I want nothing to do with that?
And would go to war. Because when you're facing a swamp, you cannot pat it on the head. I believe Yahweh chose Donald Trump.
Well, he's right about that. When you're facing a swamp, you cannot pat it on the head. I agree. We have a swamp here, and we're going to have to act ruthlessly in politics to get rid of the swamp that Donald Trump has created. He has, to a T, followed the behavior pattern and the pattern of government destruction that the Nazis did, that Orban did in Hungary, that Erdogan did in Turkey. He's followed this stuff to a T. It's identical to every other dictator because he is a dictator, because we are in an authoritarian regime now, because he is an extremist, because we are in a fascist state. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I think maybe earlier today, yesterday, something or other, recently anyway, J.D. Vance said something like, the left is ratcheting up the temperature by calling us Nazis. I'm sorry that you don't like that you are a Nazi, but that's just what it is. You don't want to be called Nazis, then don't send a set of secret police through the streets to disappear people. Don't build concentration camps. You don't want to be called Nazis, then don't literally plagiarize Joseph Goebbels in your Charlie Kirk speech, like memorial speech. I mean, it couldn't possibly be more on the nose. And truthfully, this was called a long fucking time ago. We saw this coming a long time ago. We saw it ramping up. This is all Fox News' fault, by the way. In 2000 to now, really, I guess, 25 years, they have brought the country to the brink of civil war with what the shit that they've said and done. Fox News. And, you know, we can't do this here because we have a First Amendment that we respect, but in Germany after World War II, they charged Julius Streicher, one of the chief propagandists of the movement. We charged him with crimes against humanity for being a propagandist and lying about people and whipping them into a blood frenzy the way that he did. Again, that's not like on the table here exactly, but I absolutely believe that Fox News needs to be broken up and disbanded, and there need to be harsh punishments for, like, from the FCC for radicalizing people to that degree, like that. I don't know what we can do about it, but something has to be done because they literally brought us to a civil war for no reason, literally no reason at all, because they wanted political power, and that is it. They just lied about everybody around them and made shit up and made everybody believe that the left is like demons or whatever for no reason but to win elections. There have to be some kind of repercussions for that. Something. Denazification efforts, Spruikhammer courts. Did you support this regime, and to what degree? It's unacceptable.
Because of who and what he is and what he's not. I believe Yahweh saw Donald Trump and knew he was not practicing in his faith and said, you know what? Neither was King Cyrus, neither was King Jeroboam, but you've got some tools in your shed that I need to borrow, and then we'll work on your faith after the fact. Donald Trump told the whole world, I am not that guy. Now that's why his enemies tremble. They know he doesn't forgive. That's why the establishment panics. They know.
And he's excited about that. He's proud of that. Donald Trump is the establishment, Shane, and you know that. He is the swamp. He has completely flooded judgeships, the Supreme Court, politics, all up and down the ballot with scumbags and sycophants. He has created the deep state that you bitch about. But you're happy about it because it's your deep state. It's unacceptable. There was a time when we believed in impartiality, in honesty, in making sure that, there was no bias in decisions made by judges, for example. You did this, Shane. You're responsible for this. And during denazification, which will happen historically, when these things happen, when these types of extreme moments of fascism happen in countries, denazism follows quickly, or denazification. It follows close behind. When we face denazification, you're going to have a reckoning.
He doesn't forget. That's why half the world wants to destroy him, because he refuses to play nice with the vipers. And you can call that brash. You can call it real or raw. I call it real. And my fellow Americans, real is the only thing strong enough to face the war that we find ourselves in with the left. That is why Yahweh...
What war? What war are you fighting with me? What do you think I did that upsets you so much? These people are convinced that the left is out to get them. I didn't do shit to anybody. The degree of delusion is untouchable, and fixing this is going to be a nightmare, and Fox News put us here. They are to blame. So thank you, Fox News.
Raises up kings and presidents rather than philosophers and pastors at pivotal times. These men are not working in the kingdom of God. They are working in the kingdom of darkness. So now you know the best of that story. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. And by the way, moments ago, the man that tried to kill Donald Trump, guilty on all 5 counts, never to see the light of day again.
Yeah, that's true. That dude that was hiding in the bushes or whatever, yep.
Living in a day of justice returning to America. I'm watching it happen.
I'm sorry, you think that the dude wouldn't have been found guilty in any other situation? He should have been found guilty. He was guilty. What are you smoking? Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. This is disgusting.